to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, Friday edition. Let me tell you what, boys, it is a Victory Friday, Victory Thursday, Victory Wednesday, Victory Tuesday, all week long. Victory over the Philadelphia motherfucking Eagles, and because of other commitments, we were not able to get together. So let's get us a good old Coach Zorn, hip hip hooray, hip hip.
Hooray! Yay!
No, he doesn't even know the words. Jesus Christ. All right, so joining me as always, my hairy friend, Keith, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't cut this beard, he's going to be able to run around. We're going to see one of those pictures of Wild Man of the Woods in the paper with no pants on, just that beard covering everything. He's going to be running around. My friend Jesse Martin, look at that thing.
That's luscious.
Luscious.
Soon I'll be able to wipe my own ass with it. It'll be great.
Hey, you know, I'll tell you what.
Save one toilet paper.
In Southeast Virginia, that is considered to be a luxury. That's like status down there. God damn, good. That boy can wipe his ass with that thing. Hey. Speaking of people that wipe their own ass, how you doing there, my friend? International sensation.
Hey,
oh,
doing fantastic.
Oh, there.
Thanks for having me on my show, John.
It is great. Well, it's good of you to join us on your show, Keith. It's about we've seen you all about 2 times this year. I mean, Jesus Christ, we've had stand-ins from. We can't find anybody in the States. We got to go trolling over in England to get these guys to come and sit in with us. And then some people they prefer the grammar. I'm sorry, but
yeah. And while Twitter's still working, Keith, why don't you go ahead and retweet that link out to everybody?
Yes, please.
Oh, did you? All right.
Yes, please. I think that this nonsense about Twitter stopping working is the biggest bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I think that too. I think everybody's like,
Donald Trump promised to do anything.
I put zero energy in it whatsoever.
Fuck it. Yeah. I am there to talk football, and I always say this: if you people are so goddamn worried about, oh my God, people are going to vote based on the lies. No, you stupid idiot. What makes you think that they're any dumber than you?
Listen, first of all, if Twitter shuts down, it'll probably be better for my life anyways. My wife will actually have sex with me.
Well, tell you what, after a week, after the Eagles losing to the way the Commanders did, the way the dominating performance of the Commanders last Monday night, the way they absolutely put their foot down and dominated, I should think that you should have gotten 4 nights worth by now.
Shit.
How was the Gray household after that night?
Well, it was interesting because we let both the boys stay up for a little bit and watch it. Yeah, we let them stay up till halftime, and then sent them on their way. School comes first, obviously, but it was pretty sombering.
No, it doesn't. School comes the next day at 9:00.
Oh,
but okay, the second half comes first.
But we were both just laying on the couch, and I was having a good old time watching the game while she was looking like she was about to fall asleep because the game was just not going her way, and it was fantastic. However, she did try to keep me downstairs to sleep, but I wasn't having it. The king was laying in his bed that night.
You should have given her the old attaboy. There you go. I'll tell you what, she wasn't actually trying to fall asleep. She was doing her Jalen Hurts sitting on the bench, trying not to be bored face. I'll tell you what, if I'm Jalen Hurts and I had to get up from my nice warm house and go out in that freaking cold place with all those smelly people from Philadelphia so that I could sit on a bench for 41 goddamn minutes, I would not be very happy at all. So, I guess we should talk a little bit about the Eagles game since it did already happen, and it is a huge victory. It's our biggest win of the year. I'll go ahead and say
biggest win under Rivera's tenure. I would think.
Yeah, because it's a division rival, but that win against the Steelers was huge as well because that propelled us.
Yeah,
to a point where that's when you started looking at the playoffs.
We also found out after that the Pittsburgh Steelers were frauds.
Doesn't matter to me.
You know what?
But we were the ones that kicked their ass out of the pond.
I think this wins the biggest. It was an overall team victory. Nobody besides Terry McLaurin stamping the fact that he is Darius Slay's father. Did anything that they all did their jobs. Everyone from the offensive line on back. The coaches coached a great game. It was man. I was ready to go to bed after the first 5 minutes of that game. I'm not going to lie to you. It did not look good. I thought we were going to be in for a long fucking night. But we answered and we kept answering, and then we started to pull away and just dominating in all facets of the game, and it was a good team win.
Keith clearly has his noise canceling headphones on because he can't hear his kids calling him.
He just chooses to ignore them.
He's got some kind of Zen shit going on in there. All right, Keith, your first impressions of the game, other than the fact that you tried to get laid and you couldn't.
Well, before the game, I literally thought we were gonna get.
We all did.
Everybody. Yeah. If anybody says they thought we had they thought we were going to win, they're lying. Dude, they're just fucking lying.
Big Doug, if he's out there, Big Doug practically predicted the score. Mm-mm. He puts a thread out every week, where he has his group of people that give him score predictions, and him and about 3 others predicted a win, and he got the score just about right. I think he said 32-20. So, if you're listening, Big Doug, nice work.
Yeah. Look, I was slightly optimistic with this game. I knew that this was a different lineup than what we had in week 3. So I was a little bit more optimistic in this game. The only thing that bothered me is Lincoln Financial Field is very loud. And their fans are pumped up right now, undefeated team. Why not?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I just kind of felt like that this was a disadvantage. And
they're smelling horse shit to eat. Yummy.
Yeah. I felt like this was, a game where we were, at a disadvantage from the start. So my expectations weren't very high for this one. Obviously that changed watching the game. Mm-hmm. There was some roller coaster parts, but in the end with this, I felt like that the momentum did shift a little bit to the Eagles at some point, but I just really felt like the momentum was on our side the entire game, and I'm really happy that we came out with a win.
Yeah. All right. My first impression. Let's go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, John.
Real quick. I think that we did dominate. All right. And I think that there was no real time that I thought that the Eagles really ever did swing any momentum. They hit a couple of big plays, but for example, the time that they really could have swung the momentum was the Devontae Smith fumble, right? That was a huge play.
Quez Williams fumble.
Quez Watkins, right? Sorry.
Watkins,
whatever. Yeah. One of those fast little Eagles fumbled the football. But that was a momentum changing play. He hits that play and stays down. If they tackle him while he's down, or if as he's rolling around, if one of their fingers touch him, right, that whole game could change right there. But no, He got up, started running, and St. Jude's made the play. So look, that was a dominant performance. 47 running plays. My God, and I don't care if it's 3 yards a carry.
47 or 49. Either way,
either way, that's remarkable. I've been seeing all week long that there's these talking heads talking about the return of the running game, and that's the return of the running game and then some. Because even back in the heyday of 3 yards in the cloud of dust, you didn't get 49 runs.
Yeah, you're going like 37 to 42 tops
at the most. Yeah, so that was really good, and there was a lot of times in there where I really thought Brian Robinson was just this close to
breaking one off. Yeah.
He might not have the whole breakaway speed, but I'd love to see him try. But a good 40-45 yard run I thought was coming. And that's my takeaway of the game. The defense clamped down. They played very well, but the offense, you're right. They answered first down after first down after first down after first down. They just played keep away. And you're right. Complete team victory, except one coaching error that I could point out. And that was it. And it's just that they have no idea when to throw a fucking red flag. They have no idea when to throw a flag.
It's surprising. As much as we kind of dominated on offense, and really that first drive of the game kind of set us back a little bit. they were still in it until the end of the
until Casey Toohill picked up that ball.
Yeah,
that's when that was it.
It was and I mean that's how good this Eagles team is we kept the ball twice as much as they had the ball. I think it was 40 minutes they have it for like about 20 minutes almost.
Yeah,
almost exactly.
Yeah.
And they were still in it right till the end, right? Until that 50-yard beautiful pass by Jalen Hurts and Quez Watkins fumbled it. I mean, I thought that game was over. As soon as I saw him catch that pass, I'm like, we're done. Done.
For the ninth time of the day.
You said we were done in the first 2 minutes of the first quarter.
But I think the most important play of that entire game is when Larson.
He had that hiccup. What the hell was that?
Yeah, that bad hiccup. And Taylor Heineke, for all the crap that we give Taylor Heineke, he had the not just wherewithal, but the balls to actually, instead of diving on that play, which most quarterbacks would do, but pick that ball up and actually throw it to the line of scrimmage out of bounds. That saved the game right there because
Troy Aikman said that's his best throw of the night.
Yeah, we would go on and score during that drive, and I think right there was the play of the game.
I'll do you one better because I'm not going to argue against that. That was definitely one of the biggest plays of the game. One of the biggest plays of Heineke's career was a throwaway. But dude, the penalty on the Eagles on the punt, the first drive, right? The first drive when they ran into Tress Way, gave us the ball back because they had good field position after that kick. It could have gone bad. It could have gone the other way, but they did score a touchdown pretty quick, but we hung with them. We punched back. We punched back. We punched back. We punched back. And I did like
they too. I think they scored twice right quickly on that first drive after the fumble. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were on the 12-yard line, and then we marched down the field, just methodically. Boom, boom, boom. 3 yards, first down. 3 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, first down. Heineke did not make any major mistakes. Jesse threw that one interception. The fumble was not his fault. Our buddy Leno just did. He blew it, but he played very, very well the rest of the game. He was on point. But he
threw well to the outside, which is kind of surprising because his arm is not for that. But he threw better to the outside than he threw to the inside.
He was pretty accurate for I mean, he had two where the fuck was that?
Dude, the interception was like that thing went up like a fucking rocket. You ever seen one of those time-lapse pictures of a rocket when it launches and goes up and comes down? And
he had another throw that was I think to Logan Thomas that was like 20 feet over his head. And
I don't know what he thinks Thomas is huge. I mean, he must think that man is fucking 20 feet tall. I'm not sure what's going on.
But other than those plays right there, I think Heineke played probably his best game as a Washington football player.
It's hard to say.
No, his smartest game from beginning to end.
Smart.
He played a good, smart game, but his stats were trash.
I don't care about this. I'm not worried about the stats. I'm talking about
he managed the game.
There's another that comes with it. And
heads he plays, smart decisions. And when he needed to throw the ball, because he didn't need to throw the ball that much. When he needed to throw the ball, he was accurate, on time. And that one pass to Terry McLaurin, oh God, that was a fucking dime. At 40-yard down the sideline, yeah.
Dude, sounds like that. There goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. That pass to Terry, oh God, that was a dime.
That was a dime.
Oh God. I could see. Never mind. I'm not even going to start making jokes about what Jesse sounds like during sex.
And
kids are in
the offensive line. Praise the fucking offensive line because they actually got push.
He's doing we're going to have a revival. We're going to have a good old Southeast Virginia revival. Praise that offensive line.
Yeah.
Praise that offensive line. Pretty soon, Keith, Jesse's going to be picking up some rattlesnakes. All right, so let's get a little direction going here towards how we're going to talk about it. We might as well start. Well, we've already kind of all been touching on the offense a little bit. Let's talk about the defense. Keith, what did you think of the performance defensively overall?
4 turnovers. That's
turnovers.
exactly what we needed to do to win that game. We had
Scored
to create
on one.
turnovers, and we scored on one. Defense played exceptional. I mean, other than that pass down the field where Ben St. Juste got burnt, he made up for it with that fumble. So we're just going to go ahead and look past that. Other than that, the defense played spectacular. Absolutely what you want from your defense in a big game. Create turnovers, beast mode all the way through the game. Stayed consistent. Everybody played well, in my opinion, in that. Love the defense. This is what we were looking for. Just this goes back to, bringing in Chase Young at some point, man. We got a defense, and we finally got guys in there, Derek Forrest in there who played well that game,
He did.
as well. It's like we've got the guys in the right spots, and now they are legitimately playing well out on the field together, and I love to see it.
The 2 safeties are now rated 1 and 2 in the NFL.
Yep.
Derek Forrest and Cam Curl.
Well, and when McCain is in there, he's playing really well as well.
He is.
I would say
they moved him to slot today.
He's
permanently.
moved.
He's officially, and Derek Forrest is now the starter at free safety.
That's great.
McCain is now the starting nickel back, and it will change up when they go into the big nickel. But yeah, man, best safeties in the league right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the thing that I like the most about what I'm seeing is the names that I'm not saying, because what we spent a whole lot of time doing is talking about the guys who fucked up. Look at this guy. What the hell was he doing? I don't hear their names. I don't see their names. All I see is strong, tough, nails defense. And it's not even something that's spectacular like the 85 Bears that's just throwing quarterbacks all over the damn place. They just clamp down nice and boring and just crush, and that's it. You're going 3rd down and 5, and then you're going to punt, and that's what they were doing to the Eagles all night long. They were making them get off the field, and I'll tell you what, the fact that we kept converting first downs on offense kept our defense fresh. Jamin Davis all over the field again. Our 2 guys in the middle just smashing right on through, and I'll tell you, one of the big plays I thought of the game was towards the end when Jalen Hurts thought he saw himself a little bit of a running lane, and Montez Sweat swallowed that shit up like he was a little child in there, man. So yeah, there's nothing you can say in any way, I think, that's negative about the way that the defense played the other night. So,
yeah, I don't think that this was their best game in the past 6, but it was solid all around. I think Fuller played his best game of the year.
Yeah, it's the second great game in a row he's played.
Yeah. And as far as the defensive backs are stepping up, I mean, they held A.J. Brown to 1 catch for 7 yards.
He got hurt. I'll say that. He got hurt. He turned his ankle.
Yeah, but he came back in.
He played all game.
He came back in.
He was only out a couple plays.
I don't feel sorry for him.
No, I don't feel sorry for him either. But it is a story of the game. Even if he came back out, he's probably out there running around as a decoy. I did notice that they had moved St. Juste off of him after he
can run around like Doo-Doo Magoo. He still only had 1 catch.
Doo-Doo Magoo.
Doo-Doo Magoo.
Doo-Doo Magoo. Speaking of Doo-Doo Magoo, here he is yet again. The genius. The Colts win over the weekend. Doo-Doo Magoo makes the right move, bringing in Jeff Saturday. I don't even know why I went there, but I figured I'd throw it out there since I thought Doo-Doo Magoo was a funny word. All right.
Do game balls real quick.
Yeah, let's do some butt pats and some head smacks real quick so that we can just get out of the way.
Butt pat. Attaboy. Head smack. Get out of here.
All right, your first offensive butt pat of the day there, Jesse.
The offensive line.
You're going the Keith route.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
They provided push in the run game, and that's what we've been fighting for all year long that we haven't really seen. They provided our running backs a little bit of room to run. Yeah, it wasn't 4 or 5 yards a carry. It was only 3.3 yards a carry. I think the average was, but it didn't matter. It was enough, and it was more than they have all year long. So I give the offensive line, and they protected Heineke for the most part. Except for
he
that,
took 1 sack fumble.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it also, it's a story of the game. Their pass rushing defensive end went out right after he hit Heineke. They put his ass out. So I kind of
he came back too. He came back too. He wasn't out that long. Josh Sweat.
They put him down. All right, that was kind of nice. I like to see that. So the offensive line, Keith, who is your first? Attaboy.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give my my attaboy, my game ball to Brian fucking Robinson Jr.
Attaboy.
And when I say that, my man smacked the Eagles defense right in their fucking mouth every fucking time he had the ball. That's the style of running back that I personally love. Yeah,
they brought him here.
He was getting 2-3 yards, but he was also there were times when he was
8
getting
and 10 and 12.
5, but he was also dragging 3-4 guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He fought for every fucking inch on that field.
We had one running play with negative yards, and it was only a negative 1 yard run.
And let's not even talk about that touchdown.
He fought like hell. That was a great play.
That was a great play. He fought like hell, stretched his arm.
He had
awareness of where he was at, and he was dragging fuckers with him the whole way there.
You have like
that's
six
style running I love.
You couldn't see him because there were so many freaking Eagles on him, and all you saw was the pile moving.
The ball come out. Just kept moving, man. Love that guy. I want to see more of that.
Attaboy. The thing is, too, as when you see a play like that at the goal line with his legs churning like that, you realize he just got shot 2 months ago. And I know it's something that everybody keeps saying, but dude, bullets went through his freaking muscles.
You've seen week by week.
He's pushing with his thighs like that at the goal line, shoving and pulling those dudes back. He wasn't pushing. He was pulling. He was freaking pushing with his legs, but pulling them along. That was great.
You see it each and every week. He's getting better and better and better.
This week,
it feels like he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
One of the things I really liked this week, in terms of him, just to pile on a little bit, was the fact that they stuck with it. Because you're right, the average wasn't great, but you could see it. You could see it. There were so many times that he ran into the back of a lineman, right? Not running up the back of his lineman. It's a different thing. It's just he'd get to the second level and they'd get a little stuffed a little bit and he would bounce into somebody's thigh, or a shoestring tackle would catch him. I kept saying during the game, I was tweeting with a couple of people, man, dude, he's like this close to busting one loose. So I like how he was kind of patient at the first two steps, but then when he found his crease, he hit it hard. One thing I'll say is a negative, and I want you to watch this when he's out there. When it's a play action pass, dude puts his leg way out there. It's a tell like a son of a bitch. When Heineke puts that ball out to fake that handoff, instead of taking the ball like he's actually taking a handoff with his feet, with his footwork, his front foot goes way out in front and he stomps it into the ground. Right. And then he plays this stupid ragtime piano. And it's a big time tell. Time they hear that ragtime piano, they're like, oh, it's pass. But you watch him. When it's a play action pass, watch his leg. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say.
Okay, not Turner.
Not her?
No, never mind.
Oh, attaboy. There you go, Keith.
You were too busy hitting your attaboy.
That's right. I heard you say not her, but I don't know.
I said, okay, not Turner. Scott Turner.
Oh, not Turner. Yeah. Well, okay. Maybe I didn't get the joke because I thought it was stupid, but nice try. Attaboy. There you go.
Oh, well.
That's for you.
You can't win them all.
All right, I'm going to take the easy route, and I'm going to say Terry again because he's the leader of this team.
Terry.
I mean, what else are you going to do? Yeah, 128 yards. What else am I going to do? When you need a play, there he is. All right.
No one has passed for more than 50 yards a game on Darius Slay, except for Terry McLaurin. He's done it twice in the same year.
Terry McLaurin said to Darius Slay, "Come here and." Here's another one. Tell you what, if we had the time, I'd do one for every yard. That's what I would do. But we don't have time, so we're going to go ahead and get some head smacks. Or excuse me, we're going to do some defensive butt pats. Defensive butt pat. Keith, go ahead. Attaboy.
I'm going to have to go. Man, this could go to a lot of people. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to go the easy route. I'm going to give it to Ben St. Juste for that heads up play, even though we got burnt.
Game-saving play.
Yep, game-saving play. Created that fumble. He can definitely he can have my butt pat.
Oh, wrong way. All right.
Get out of here.
That's not even it either. All right, so fine. We're not patting your ass. Okay, who's your defensive butt pat, Jesse?
Yeah, Jamin Davis. The kid gets better each and every week. He was had the green dot this week for the first time since last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I thought he had it for the last 3 weeks.
No. This is his first week because Cam Curls had it. First time.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
First time he's called plays. He's so quick, man, and I think we got a really good linebacker in the making in Jamin Davis, and like we said, we've been saying for the past year and a half now to give the kid some time, and it's coming to fruition right now.
Well, yeah. When you do that to the Eagles, you're doing something right. So my defensive butt pat's going to go to Derek Forrest because that dude is coming on like gangbusters, man, and it's fun to watch. That dude, he's opening up like an umbrella, and everything in front of him is not going any further. Dude tackles perfectly. I love the technique of what he plays, and he's just around the ball. And, there you go. All right, hang on a second there. I see that we've got.
You know what? Hold on 1 second. I want to give an extra offensive butt pat. Joey Sly can also get a butt pat too.
Yeah, we didn't do special teams, but yeah, Joey Sly, 58-yard field goal, dude. That is.
Attaboy.
I'll tell you what, because if the Eagles don't if he misses that kick, they got the ball right around midfield.
Look, he was just as big as a contribution to this win as anybody else on this team.
Oh yeah,
and
55-yarder.
When's the last time we've had a kicker kick 50 plus yarders in a game? I can't remember.
It's been a long time. I know that. I think they said when it was, and it's been a long time. I just can't remember who it was. But I did write a poem for the occasion. You ready? Here it goes.
Okay.
Ready? Sly, he's our guy. This doesn't rhyme, but fuck the Eagles.
Oh, it's pretty original. You should publish that.
Talk about
there's zero chance that Dustin Hopkins would have made those kicks.
We're not even talking about Dustin Hopkins anymore. Joey Blewett would
zero chance. People are still talking about Dustin Hopkins every single.
Who cares? People
every fucking week. People are talking about Dustin Hopkins.
It's just the way it goes. I'm sorry, but Dustin Hopkins, he's a Charger. He's on the other side of the country. If you want to go live
and he's
San
on
Diego,
IR right now. Anyways,
I'd go live out there. So yeah, Cam Curl and Derek Forrest. Yeah. Burgundy and gold for life is saying Cam Curl gets his butt pat of the day. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and pull this back up here so I can give you the official. Attaboy. There you go. All right. Do we want to do some head smacks real quick, or do we want to talk to our foreign correspondent?
It should be pretty quick with the head smacks. We can get that.
There were too many. All right. Offensive head smacks. Keith, go ahead. Who gets your first offensive head smack?
Yeah, Taylor Heineke can go ahead and get my head smacked. Listen.
Wow.
He did play smart. We did get a win. But when I'm looking at the future of this team, 200 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. That doesn't get my jollies off, so he can get my head smacked.
Man, I'll tell you what. I think we found a theme for the night with Keith. He hasn't been getting his jollies off all week.
All year.
All year. Jeez.
Past 5 years.
My God, it's already November, man. You better get started. All right, so that's there you go. It's for Taylor Heineke because Keith is hard to goddamn please. All right, so Jesse told us the other day that Heineke's got to play a perfect game for us to win this game.
Yeah, and I'm giving my head smack to Keith Gray for giving Taylor Heineke a head smack because
you're only saying this because we won. But if we lost, those stats. You'd be frying those stats, but we won the game, and it was not because of Taylor Heineke.
That's the biggest stat of all.
It's what he needs to do every single game going forward. What he did yesterday is what he needs to do
14 points came from the kicker.
Not make the killer mistakes and just manage the game. That's what he did. That's the best you're going to get from Taylor Heineke. That's right. The best.
I mean, I said there's not a lot to go around. So
yeah, I wouldn't have given a head smack because it was. I mean, that to me, this game was 4 quarters of non fuck ups. Obviously, every team's going to make a mistake in every single game, but. It wasn't one of those games where we had to come from behind or you had to get Heineke to sprinkle some magic at the end of the game. It was 4 quarters of, okay, this looks like a real football team.
this was a whole entire team win, bottom line.
Yeah.
Whole entire team win. I think we can all agree to that. But the reason why I'm giving my head smack is because, again, you change that W to an L and you're looking at Taylor Heineke's stats, we're coming for his throat. So because the team had to play well and damn near perfect to win this game, well, those stats cannot carry further into the season, and we expect wins because we're not going to get perfect play from our entire team.
Now, here's the thing with Heineke, okay? Because I'm not saying that I'm joining the hive, but the dude keeps winning football games, and every time he wins a game, we always look at each other and go, he can't keep doing that and continue to win football games. And he just beat an undefeated football team.
I love him behind center. Honestly, between him and Wentz.
He didn't have a good game. That interception was a joke of a pass. He threw a few of them that were like, what the fuck was that? As he's throwing them a mile over everybody's head. But here he comes again.
Yam said the Heineke magic is equivalent of throwing shit into the in the wind on a wall and praying something.
But you know what? When it sticks to the wall, it sticks in the shape of a W. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
What I do love about Taylor Heineke, though, was, and the reason why I'm okay with him being at our quarterback, and I'm not coming for his throat and saying we need to put Wentz back in, was because of that celebration on that flag. When he kneeled and he got hit and he got up and he knew,
smart play.
Very smart play.
He baited him.
When he got up and he saw that flag, and I don't know if you guys saw, but that flag must have went 500 feet in the air. I mean, that ref, man, he had been working on that all day because that thing went high, super high. But when Heineke got up, man, and the way that he was celebrating, man, I love to see it. So I'm not hating on Taylor Heineke. I'm just saying for the future of our team, you can't expect your whole entire team to play perfect the way that it did, the way that we saw happen in this game. And Taylor Heineke have them kind of stats and still have that type of success. And that's the only reason why I'm giving that, because honestly, there really isn't much else to choose from.
I got you. And that's where I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to give anybody on the offense a head smack. I mean, if I had to, Charles Leno, you gave up a sack that caused the fumble. But I can't go after Charles Leno, for God's sakes, man. That dude's a warrior every week, and I'm not going to go after him for one mistake. And that's where we are, I think, in this football game, looking at head smacks, is ticky-tack. You got to get ticky-tack to find one on the offense. They kept that ball all night. They freaking converted more third downs, I think, than last year. I think that was the statistic that I saw, that they converted more third downs Monday night than they did about all of 2021. But, and look, somebody probably, Yams, go and look that up. Really? What the fuck is that? All right. So, defensive head smacks. Who you got? Jesse.
There
ain't any.
I don't got any. I don't got one.
There really isn't any.
Got one. I think they played solid. Like I said, it wasn't their best game in the past because they've been playing some really, really good defense. I mean, we controlled the ball for 40 minutes, and somehow, some way, the Eagles are still in this game. But they played solid all around. So I don't have a head smack to give.
Casey Toohill did the gritty right. He looked all right, don't you think? You got any head smacks for the defense, Keith?
Yeah, you know what? Listen, hey, I gave him a butt pat for creating that fumble, but he can also get that head smack for allowing that receiver to get that far ahead of him, wide open. So Ben St. Juice can also get a smack too while he's at it.
He is tough. All right, well, everybody, we have a special treat for you. As you know, we have a roving reporter right now that is traveling around the world on the dime of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, and we have sent him down to Houston for a live report. We're going to go ahead with our English friend, Scott. Oh, wait, I got to play his intro here. Let's go, Scott. All right, let's see what we have here. I got to move him into the right spot. I hope I do this right. Scott, where are you?
There you go. Scott, are you here? Are you with us, Scott?
I don't see him. All right, that is the stadium down there, but I don't see Scott. All right, hang on a second. I'm getting a message. I'm getting a message from him. Hold on a second. All right, well, we'll be right back with our good buddy Scott. Hang on. Oh, hey, look, I'm big.
Well, hey, look, I'm finally not on the bottom.
Well, we can do anything.
We sounds like a personal.
Back to the bottom I go.
There you go. Quit crying about things. All right, so okay, we did have some. I don't have any defensive head smacks. Yeah, any special teams head smacks? Do we have any bad penalties on special teams the other night? I can't even remember. But we usually have at least one.
Like special teams.
This was a well-disciplined game.
All right. Well, who gave up the block on the Tressway got fucking rocked. He got rocked. I don't know if y'all listened to he was mic'd up, and it was like a 15-minute session, mic'd up session. It was a good session. And I mean, you heard that hit. Like he got fucking plowed, and he was hurting afterward. But whoever gave that block gave up that deserves a head smack.
I will say this, dude. We almost blocked a punt at the end of the game, and we could have blocked a punt at the end of the game.
Oh yeah. That was a smart by their punter. That was a good play. But then they got the
illegal man downfield. All right, so I do see that we have our roving reporter, Scott. He is in Houston now. Hang on just a second. We're going to bring him in here. Scotty, hello. How are you? You look half visible. What's going on with you there?
All right, fellas. How's it going?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, no, good, buddy. Good, buddy.
What the hell?
Come closer to the camera. We can't.
Yeah, there you are.
There you go. That's better.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. He's missing his shoulder, but we're doing
professional podcast. This live feed's terrible.
I tell you what. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Cam, so
I'm at the Houston Inn, which is where the expenses got me to. So,
where is the Houston
Inn?
That's
not bad. That's pretty fancy, man.
It's a good pub. They've given me a beer, and the landlord seems to be quite happy. So, cheers, Keith. The MasterCard this week had $100 on. So,
hey,
fantastic.
So, where is the Houston Inn?
It is in Scotland, just outside Glasgow. So it got me here. So we've done well.
we
did say Scotland in Houston. So
that's right. So okay, that's good. I guess Captain Gustavio got a little mixed up on the directions. We were supposed to be able to have enough gas to at least get you to the Azores, which is an island chain out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That we were going to try to catch you on board with a tuna fleet and get you over to Miami to be able.
No more boats, John. No more
boats. Look, you're lucky. The game is in Texas. We were going to have to maybe smuggle you across the border in a migrant caravan, but Keith couldn't swing that through HR. So at least you're at a bar. You'll at least have a nice place to watch the game, although you are in Scotland. Do you have to wear a skirt?
No, not today. My wife's Scottish, so we're going to be all right, I think. I'll just eat my haggis, neeps and tatties. It'll be all right.
I don't know if I could ever eat haggis.
No,
not for me. No. Keith, do you know what haggis is? Come on, this dude's got you've got a stomach that's made of cast iron. You've got to know what haggis is.
It's not turkey dinosaurs, that's for sure.
All right, I believe that it is the intestines of a sheep.
Sheep's intestines, sheep's stomach and intestines inside with oats. It's actually all right, to be fair. It's not too bad if you boil it right.
No, it's not fair whatsoever.
To be fair to what?
We don't want to be fair.
They love their offal up here. Yeah, I don't know.
So, Scott, what did you think about the game Monday night? Give your quick.
Fantastic. Great win. I didn't give him a prayer, to be honest with you. As I said, Bob open, no open. Bob Ope's dead. But we came out of it on top, which was fantastic. Very, very late game for me. 1:15 kickoff in the morning. Usual time. So by the time I was done, it was about 4 a.m. But adrenaline was pumping, and I think I went to bed about 5:30. So really good game. Enjoyed it.
Did you have to work that day?
What time did you work?
No. I took the day off. I was I thought ahead, prior planning and all that, Keith. Especially when you're on there, no hypotenuse of the bottom line. It was good. Safety stayed still that day, so we're all right. We're all right. It was good win, very good win. Obviously beating an undefeated side, it gives us a divisional win. It was a huge game. Yeah.
That's the kind of game I think you can springboard from. So how do you see it coming up against the Texans this week? I was hoping you were going to be able to interview Davis Mills.
Well, I was. I was going to ask him one question. Does he have indeed the longest neck in the NFL, or does that mantle rest with Mike Glennon? I'm not sure which one.
I'll tell you. You should say.
Awesome.
Mike Glennon is a pencil model. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they use him in photographs. Yes, he's not like the hand. He's the pencil. They're like just stand still. They paint his head red, and he's a pencil.
I also wanted to ask the question if Lovie Smith's beard is indeed made of mink fur. It looks that way, or maybe Badger. I'm not too sure.
Badger. You could have asked him if if Keith could have got you enough money to get you to Houston, Texas. But all right, I've got a 5-second film breakdown that's going to show you the benefits that Davis Mills brings to the table.
You're so stupid.
At least professional podcaster. So at least he can see over the top of his offensive line. I'm like, take Heineke, but hey, it's what it is.
I don't know what's funnier, that or the sound effect.
The fucking go-go gadget neck.
Well, it enables him to read the defense a little bit better. So.
Yeah, exactly. You can see over the top of that offensive line, that's for sure.
Oh, my God. So, you know what, Scott? Why don't you get a pint and sit down and just join us for the rest of the show. We'll talk about the Houston Texans here.
Right.
Might as well. I got a couple of other things that we're going to talk about here.
Word is out that one of the best players on the Houston Texans, and Derek Stingley Jr., is out for the game. So
now, I'll tell you what, before we get to that, sorry, I set you up and then I shot you down.
No, it's all right. I just saw it on Twitter.
All right. We do have a brand new segment, and it's called here it is.
This week in social media stupidity.
Yep, that's right. Social media stupidity. So we're going to be pointing out some of you stupid idiots, and I think that I'm just going to put them up. We've got 4 of them, so you can go first as to whichever one of us. So this one's first.
Yes.
I'm a really prey on the Commanders' downfall. Celebrating a penalty is embarrassing, but I guess it's fitting for the team. Fuck this dude.
Yeah, this dude, he got blown up too by Commanders fans. Yeah, they're just bad because they lost. I mean, Heineke, he took a kneel down. I think he baited him just a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, the ref blew the fucking whistle like it was like a minute or like a second and a half before he was hit. Yeah, it was a boneheaded play by Graham. I mean, straight up.
The WEF helped.
The WEF.
He did say the WEF, right? He said the WEF. The WEF blew the whistle and saved Taylor Heineke from being destroyed. Look, here's the bottom line of the whole thing. I don't think he could possibly bait him. The dude, he took a knee.
Yeah.
Right? He took a knee, and the dude kept coming. And whether or not he was trying to slow down, like some of these other idiots have said.
Slow down?
He's slow down. It's like I said, here's another one of genius from this week. Who was the one that gave me this one?
That was Keith.
That was me making fun of Jesse.
Look, we can't pick on Scott Turner this week. He did all right. So, anytime you convert that many third downs, you're doing something right. I will pick this one. Let's see. Heineke clearly flops. Yes, this is an Eagles guy. Look, this guy has a check mark. I mean, I know that doesn't mean shit this week.
Because he bought it.
But this guy has a check mark. I think he's some kind of sports writer. I don't know what he is. But, all right, Heineke clearly flops. Dude, this is the NFL. There is no such fucking thing as a goddamn flop, right? You go down. He took a knee. He's a quarterback. How's Graham supposed to slow down when he takes a knee like that? He's trying to hold up. You can't throw a flag in that scenario. And look, I got to tell you.
If you go back and listen to that play, just listen to it. Watch it again. Listen to it. You can hear when the ref blows the whistle. Graham, he
takes 3 steps.
Yeah.
Look, we've all screamed and hollered that there are times that we think that the refs are ridiculous on those calls because the guys cannot stop physics. If they're in the air on the way to the quarterback, they can't change. They can't change the direction.
That hit him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. He was being touched by one.
One got the touch, and he ran in.
There goes the whistle, and then here comes Brandon Graham. Like, dude, you were late. You didn't blow Taylor Heineke up, but you still hit him, and you were late on it. That's just the rules of the game.
You're going to see that flag 100% of the time and 100% of the games that you're going to watch from now until you die.
That'll happen to any quarterback. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right. You can't do that. And they'll call that flag if that's a wide receiver. If he takes a knee like that and then he gets plowed into that late, they're going to throw that flag. Just the tears all week long from the Eagles fans has been so nice.
Which is why Jason Kelsey came out. They had him and his brother Travis.
He was
Kelsey.
right.
Yeah, they have a podcast together, and he's right. He was like, refs do not lose the games. Calls on the field, whether good or bad. He said something like he hates it. It's like. You're a poor loser if you blame a loss on a refs or something like that. He was going in on Eagles fans.
On that segment, though, Jesse, I don't agree with one part of that, and I do subscribe to that podcast. We said, we had plenty of chances to win that game. Did you really?
They were within a touchdown. They were
they had some.
They had chances.
Their defense could have stopped us. You know, there's chances for them to stop us, and they didn't.
I say this all the time, and this goes to anybody who's out there listening right now. All 12 of you, Keith's grandma, pay attention. There is not a single game in the world in which a referee's flag or no call costs you the game. I don't care what the fuck happened. If you think it does, then you need to look at the game again and count all the mistakes that put you in the position where one flag cost you a football game. All right. The Eagles have made mistake after mistake after mistake, 4 turnovers. All right. I don't care if they missed a goddamn face mask. That shit happens all the time. You'll get the apology from the league. Yoo-hoo. You know, we're all
it happens to us. Look,
it happens to everybody
that OPI,
all the time.
OPI call on Dotson, that was bullshit. He was running his route.
It was. That was a stupid call.
The pass interference on St. Juice, bullshit. I mean,
and the only reason why. And listen, the only reason why that face mask was even a big deal to the fans in the first place was because of what it resulted in.
Yeah,
correct. Right. If he had not have fumbled, people would have been like, "Oh, we're missed face mask," and then they would have moved on. But again, this is where you hold on to these things because it's going to, help their psychotic narrative that they have in their head. As
we should have won.
Exactly.
They should have won. We should have won. We should have won. All right,
but
so
you should have stopped all them third down plays that we got first downs on.
That's right.
That's what you should have did.
Yeah.
All right, so final stupid tweet of the week. I'm not sure who this came from, but here you go.
That was that. I say
all right,
top 3 defense.
But I'm delirious with victory. I did say so. Of course, I was looking like this. This was John Taman after the football game.
Hey, top 3 defense.
That's John in his college days.
My college days were well into my 30s. All right, so what's the answer to my question? We are a top defense.
I'm going to say we're in the top 10. I think I don't know if we're quite top 10 yet. We're trending that way. These next two games are really going to tell us a lot about this team. We're playing at an elite level on the defensive line. I think our second level is starting to come together and getting better. So I'm going to wait and see. I say top 15 right now.
Yeah, I would roll with top 15. I was going to say top 12, and I have no facts to back up why I even say 12, other than it just sounds like a great number. It's like
it could be different.
It's like right there teetering with top 10.
Right.
I say it because even Monday Night Show, we still can get beat deep. And that's what's scary about this team sometimes. I mean, if it wasn't for St. Juice, just hitting them hitting Quez Watkins in the right spot, causing that fumble. I mean, that's one thing that this team's been very suspect at is getting beat deep. And it almost happened again.
They don't give up points. You know, I said it the other night when we were talking. That 24 points. If we were going to get a miracle win against Philadelphia, we had to hold under 24 points, and lo and behold, we did. So we invited Scott on, and here he sits in front of the Houston Inn, having himself a pint, I hope.
I am, and I wowould say on that, I think we're a top 10 defense. I think we probably come in 10th or towards the bottom of it. I think I totally agree with what Jesse said, that we have the defensive line is probably top 1-2. I don't think there's any other teams out there with
a better some more
unit
sacks
than what we've got.
We could do with a little more sacks from our defensive.
Yeah, but you look at
right.
It depends what metrics. Hello, mate. What a nice.
The thing about sacks is, and especially this year, because teams are running more for one, and also when teams play us, they know that we're coming after the quarterback. They do get the ball out quicker. it seems like, than some other teams do. But the pressure rate, I think we're in the top
we're way
3
high.
in quarterback pressures. Montez Sweat is number 1 in the whole entire league for quarterback pressures.
But you also have to think you've got a top 3 safety in Cam Curl, who's constantly been in the top 1, 2, 3 on PFF rates. Yep. Derek Defoe's up there as well in the PFF rates.
We're getting there. I'm just not buying in yet.
And I think both Payne and Allen are all pros this year. I don't think there's a better defensive tackle than Jonathan Allen in the entire league.
I had an argument with some guys that think Leonard Williams and the other defensive tackle from New York, because Brian Baldinger put out, his tweets. He was like, name a better defensive tackle duo. And I was like, Payne and Allen. I mean, there's no argument there. Yeah. And it's not. I think Allen is playing better right now than Aaron Donaldson is this year.
Oh, easily.
I'm just saying this year.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald too.
And the fact that these two, we got to figure out a way to keep Payne. We got to. They're a force to be reckoned with.
At this point,
I had this chat with Andy with Scouse, and Scouse was saying, "Can you honestly think that we're going to invest $40 million over 2 defensive tackles? We're not going to do that. We haven't got the money to pay him. I really don't think we have."
I agree with Scouts in that's a lot of money to invest in defensive tackles, but at the same time,
we invested for a quarterback.
We invested consecutive first-round picks in those defensive tackles.
But who are you getting rid of, John? Then okay, let's just take the scenario. And
if it comes down to right now between Payne and Sweat, Payne gets the money. Payne is elite. That's the difference.
But you also got excellent. You've got Cole Holcomb who's due a contract. I'm not giving him much. Contract.
I'm not giving. Well, Cam Curl, I'll pay a little bit, but he's due a contract in like 2 years,
and we're expected to have around 50.
I'm not paying Holcomb much. Well, I'll pay Curl more than I'll pay Holcomb. Holcomb, you do.
You want a player bad enough, you're going to find a way to keep him.
Okay. Yeah, after this year's, you can start negotiation with Cam Curl. You do not want to get him in his final year. You want to get it before his final year of the contract, because this is his third year. This is Curl's third year.
All right, do me a favor real quick. Since I like you to hear you say it there, Scott, do your Andy impression telling people to go to Baltimore.
All right, you can fuck off up the road to Baltimore. Why have we got a penguin with blue feet or something?
I don't know. I like the face. The face of it looks to me like Andy when he gets fed up with people and starts saying, "Right, if you don't like it, you can go to fuck up to Baltimore."
He is a dude, but he can be an angry man at times. And funny. It is funny.
He likes to do that. And here we are. We're going to pick on Andy. He likes to do that passive aggressive thing. We all can get off and fuck off to Baltimore. And then they come after him. He goes, "Look, I was just saying, if it's that bad on you, why don't you just go?" I just sit back and it's so much fun to watch. And it's like they're.
I love him. He's my guy, man.
Fuck off.
I can't do it. I can't deny him. He's my guy. He has got some pure Twitter trolls as well. It's funny.
Oh, I know.
What's a Brit telling me how to support my team? Oh, why don't you just fuck off to Baltimore?
That's right.
It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Go on.
All right. So, what's our keys to victory coming up here this week? What do we got to do? We got Davis Mills. By the way,
we're going up against one of the worst run defense in the league. So you run the fucking ball and run, play action, hit Terry over the top. Boom. That's it. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
But I will say this. I am not as confident as a lot of people are going up against the team, just because I don't trust this team yet. It's working on me. But this, is the trap game right here. You got your high off the big win against the best goddamn team in the entire league. Are you going to be still too high off that win? It's a short week. Texans, they play everybody hard. They absolutely fucking play everybody hard, everybody to the last minute. They even almost beat Philly the week before last. So I don't know. This game worries the shit out of me.
Good running back in Pierce as well, but
great running back.
I just want to see us. Please let me get to the third quarter and just be like, "Oh, we're winning by 14." This will be all right.
I want to see us. We got to win by double digits.
You've got
it
would be nice to put them away.
You're Jesse. You tell me every week you are, and so does Keith. You are what your record says you are. They are 1-7-1.
Yeah,
this has got to be an easy win. But at the same time,
this is the Washington Commanders we're talking about here, guys.
We play to we play down to our defense. Now, when you look at the Commanders, since my brain goes all over the damn place, and I'm a terrible host, I can't keep the show on track. That loss to the Vikings doesn't look quite so bad after last week, now, does it?
Makes me mad, though. Makes me mad. Same thing going back to that Tennessee game. Makes me mad because it was in our hands.
Just think about Tennessee. Just think about. I mean, we would be 7-3 right now.
7-3,
yeah. If two plays, the interception against the Vikings and that interception in the end zone.
It's not converting the fourth.
Boys, we got a good team. We got a good team. It's just that 1-4 start kind of screwed us and made it look like our team was trash. And yes, we were playing like trash. But now the guys are in position and in their right positions, and they're all playing well together. Better. Listen, they have gotten better. I mean, we kept up with the Vikings. That was a win for us, man. We had that win in the bag, and we let it go. And it is what it is. But we're competing. And that's all I can ask from this team right now. Compete. We're not going to win them all because we're playing nail biters every single game. That's just what we do. We can never put teams ahead because we can't put points on the board, right? So it's a nail biter. Even when we dominate
5 times in a row
when we dominate in a game, we're not putting a ton of points on the board to show that domination. So it's allowing teams to stay in the game. They're nail biting, but listen, we're competing, and that's all I can ask for. And I'm sure that's all anyone else, any other fan can ask for at this point. Just compete.
Well, the defense is holding scores down, and that's the main thing you got to do when you have a quarterback that's shaky and an offense that has to rely on him. So they should be able to keep the score down against the Texans. What you really have to do is you have to shut down Dameon Pierce, which I'm not really concerned about because they're very good against the run. And you make slow roasted, delicious Davis Mills throw the ball. Make him get up in the morning. Make him smell that bacon when it's cooking. Make him feel as if he wants to go back to bed because we keep smashing into him and his enormously long neck. Again and again.
You done?
Again. I guess I'm done. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the key to the game. Make Davis Mills have to throw and then go in there and give him whiplash. I don't think it's
I don't think that they're going to throw. I mean, they're going to try to run the ball down our throats, and we got to be ready for that. I mean, they have Brandon Cooks, but he's not having a good year. He's not happy with our team. He demanded a trade. He didn't get traded. He's putting stuff out on social media. So we got to stop the running, and then we can have this game. That's it.
Yeah. This should be a snap of a victory.
This should
clamp them down. Yes, it should be. We'll see what happens.
Are we going to do it? I just don't trust this team yet.
So, all right, I'm not familiar with the schedule right off the top of my head. After this, are we on the bye after this?
Yeah, we're home against
the Giants,
Atlanta.
Right?
No, we got Atlanta, then the Giants, then our bye, then the Giants.
Right. So there's winnable games coming up. And at this juncture, after Monday's game, Taylor Heineke's my quarterback going forward. You got to. Carson Wentz, nice to have seen you, buddy.
He's I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Taylor Heineke.
How can you be possibly sold? Nobody can be sold on this.
Let's see what he can do going against these next 2 games that are winnable games that we should win.
Yeah,
both of these teams coming up.
I agree.
If he shits the bed in either one of these games, you're going back to Carson Wentz.
I think that this job remains his until he shits the bed.
Yeah.
And then once he does, you go back to Carson Wentz because you're paying this guy $28 million. We need to look future as well, and we need to see if this guy is going to sustain not long-term 3 to 5, but long-term
1 to 2
at least. Yeah.
And we don't have to.
you've got to make this decision now and understand where we're at. And you're giving him the fairest chance possible because now all of our guys are back healthy for the most part. Okay.
And they love
there's
him.
no more excuses for Wentz.
You've
got to go in and play well. And if you don't, you can take a seat and Heineke can come back in and finish this thing out.
Or Sam
dude,
Howell.
the players love Heineke. They play for that dude. Then they go out there and they go to battle with him. And as far as I'm concerned,
guys, I got to roll out.
All right.
I got a meeting at 6.
We'll see you at 6. Meeting at 6 on a Friday night. He must be in a homeowners association.
It's a hog farmer meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, then have a good time. Tell Chris we said hey.
Nice to see you again, Keith. Take care, mate.
Love you guys.
See you later.
It's a furry meeting.
Yeah.
Love you, Keith. Bye.
It's a furry meeting. So I was saying something about something, and I can't remember what the hell it was. Scott, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I think the keys to victory are right with Jesse there. I think you have to stop the run from Houston. We are where we are with Taylor Heineke. We know what we're going to get.
That's what I was saying.
We hope that we're going to get the Taylor Heineke we've had over the last few weeks against the Packers. You know,
he hasn't been good, really. I hope
he's got to get better.
Heineke that we saw last week. I don't want the Taylor Heineke that we saw against.
He hasn't been
Colts
really good.
It was really interesting because I called the pick as well. I said there's a pick incoming here, and boom, there it was.
Like I said last week, there's a whole bunch of bad plays and then some luck sprinkled in. You know, that's what you've gotten from Taylor Heineke, and that's why I don't think the coaches are sold on Taylor Heineke for the rest of the season right now, and they shouldn't be, and neither should the fan base, but they are because everybody's in love with him. Well, the team is in love with him, and I get that, but these coaches are coaching for their fucking life. They need wins on if there's a new owner coming in next year, if they want to, and during the transition, it's probably unlikely that they're going to change coaching staffs for the first year.
If it's a sell in March,
but they need wins on their resume, and if Heineke shits the bed, there is zero chance that you do not see Carson Wentz get through that 70%. Give him that, so we don't have to give up a second round pick. But to try to save the season, you're going to have to bring back in Wentz. And then once the season's gone, then you need to bring in Howell and let's see what he has. So they can start developing a plan for quarterback for the next year.
This is where it starts to get murky for me, because I think that right now it is 3 years in. Ron, you haven't found a quarterback yet. Excuse me. Yes, you did. His name is Taylor Heineke. That is your guy. Okay.
I can't do it.
I know you can't, but it's not the point of that. And it's not the point. All of the things you're saying are 100% valid. It's a matter of next year coming up with a plan for quarterback. If it's Ron Rivera, you're not drafting one, buddy. You're not going and making that high pick. You're not going to spend another $50 million or $35 million or however much it's going to cost to bring in a journeyman. This is your guy. Sink or swim. All right. And you know, with the way the dynamic works in the NFL, the coach quarterback combination is so important. And you see coaches that are successful because they get on with one young. They get on, they find their guy and they're able to go with them. Very rarely do you see the veteran. I mean, sometimes you do, but very rarely. Most of the time, it's that combination that is prolonged success. So at year 4, which is when he would be selecting yet another quarterback, his 5th one? As far as I'm concerned, if Ron Rivera is our head coach next year, Taylor Heineke is our quarterback, especially unless we don't win again. You know, then everything's on the table. But if we win 9 or 10 games, it's, you know, I don't want him picking another guy. And it's not that it's not that I think that, we can go to the Super Bowl with Heineke. It's not that. It's like, okay, Ron, this is your guy. You know, this is who you came up with after 4 freaking years. Him.
Well, it's not for the lack of trying.
No, it's not.
You know, the
guy who's winning with him, and that's the thing.
You got to, you know, even if he's coming into a lame duck year or not, you still got to build for the future. You still got to try. It's so hard to find a franchise quarterback. You got to try. That's exactly what. It's exactly why they threw in their chips on Wentz. because to me, in my opinion, they don't want Heineke as the quarterback because he just doesn't.
No,
he's got something, but it doesn't have it. Right. It's not.
He's got that backup moxie, is what he's got. He's got that backup moxie. But yeah, he's not backup quarterback. He's not a starter, and everybody knows it except for him. He goes out and wins football games.
What's really interesting is what do you pay him? And I go back to the salary cap here, and as you said, you've got to hitch that wagon.
He's going to have to be about $5 to $7 million.
Yeah, I think
that's going to be a backup. Right. If he's your starters, it's probably going to be $8 to $11 million.
You're looking at that top fringe starter stroke top end backup, aren't you? You're looking at 10+ mil, I think. Honestly,
I mean, it's something like the Colt McCoys and shit. Backup quarterback's a gravy job, man. That's
best job in the NFL.
Yeah. And look,
hold a clipboard, 10 million quid a year.
Again, he was homeless, sleeping on his sister's couch before this team picked him up.
Yep.
And do you think that's why he has the attitude that he has, and he has that moxie, as we said, and why people fall in?
Sure. I mean, he's got nothing to do with it. Yeah, and, he's always had that dog in him anyway. Mm-hmm. He's always had that kind of a thing in him, and I think, look. The bottom line of any NFL quarterback is you got to be an alpha. All right. You don't get to be an NFL quarterback by being some pushover, wishy-washy guy. So they just show it differently, and he puts it on his sleeve and he wears it out there and his team rallies around it and it works for him. So, but I don't think he's any different than any of the others.
You're looking at stats and stuff like that and comparing to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has better stats. I am not totally convinced that we wouldn't have be in the same spot.
He's 4-1.
If he's 4-1, but the whole entire team was playing like shit. The team has progressively gotten better and better. That goes with the defense too, because the first few games of the year, we were like, "What the fuck?" We all thought the offense
this past week so good. This past week, the ability to run the ball really backed the Eagles off and did not allow them to just pin their ears back and realize, okay, it's 3rd down and 11. They're running the ball. We didn't get ourselves into those situations. I mean, so we didn't have those jailbreaks up the middle. I don't think that Turner and Norwell have necessarily gotten any better at pass protecting. I think that on Monday night, what we saw was they had a better opportunity to pass protect because they didn't have, these guys weren't sure. That's what the good running game does to you.
Norwell continues to get decent scores on PFF. I don't really see it, but I know Turner was injured in the beginning of the season. He did not have he didn't go through training camp. Turner's gotten a little bit better. I think Larson, once he got healthy,
he had a big fuck up the other night.
He did, but he's a hell of a lot. He's playing a lot better than before, and I think it's taken a little bit of time for this offensive line to build some cohesion together. And but they're definitely, you cannot argue the fact that the offensive line the past 4 weeks now have played light years better than they did in the beginning of the season.
Jesse, this is the 3rd game on the trot now where they've had the opportunity to play the exact same offensive line starting. People, I know Cosme rotated in for a few plays, but you get people then they start to get used to each other. They understand the nuances of what people will do, how the gaps will be folded, what they'll do in the A gap, what they'll do in the B gap, what the center needs to do. It's made a huge difference seeing that. And, we've talked about it ad nauseum that, it looked like Norwell was able to get that second push, which allowed the running backs to get further forward. And Brian Robinson's made a huge difference. He's looking to get 100% fit now. I listened to both Ron and Scott Turner's press conference, and they both said, he's about 70-80% of where they think he should be. The guy's carrying 3.3 yards a carry on average, and you're looking at that thinking,
and that right there is okay, for right now. And that's what they brought Brian Robinson in to do. They wanted a grinder, they wanted a pounder, and that's what he's doing. And he's going to get better. There's no doubt he's going to get better
for sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, then we're running late on a little bit of time, so let's do some real quick X Factors.
X Factor.
Man, they got some pretty good. Scott's got a hold of the sound system over at the Houston Inn in Scotland. Okay, so Keith, Scott, who is your offensive X factor of the game?
Wow, Scott, you gonna let him do that to you?
It's fine. He's better looking than I am, so I can take that as a compliment. Yeah, I think my offensive X factor will be Brian Robinson. Just mentioned him. Sure. He just doesn't get tackled. I watched Baldinger, as you mentioned earlier, and you look at his breakdowns.
Great stuff.
And you just think, wow, 6 Eagles players hanging off him.
Yeah.
Just grinding.
He won't go down.
He will not go down. You do not tackle his legs. He is not going down. I still think we need to get the USA football rugby team in to teach people how to tackle, but that's by the by. But yeah, my X factor, Brian Robinson.
All right, then. There you go. Okay, Jesse, your X factor.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go with the offensive line and providing that push for Brian Robinson and for Antonio Gibson. These guys have been playing better. You actually see a difference. I mean, it's almost night and day how they're not getting knocked back. And I'm not talking about on pass protection. I'm talking about on run blocking. I mean, they were getting blown up on the line, and now they're providing the push. Hopefully they stay healthy and keep it going, because that's all you need to do. Call it a quick game. Both of these teams are going to run the ball. Okay, this is going to be probably one of the quickest games out in the entire year. Run the ball, set up play action. That's all you need to do.
I agree. And I would say that my X factor.
There
you go. I would say it's got to be Taylor Heineke, because when you do have to throw, you're going to have to be accurate. You're going to have to be on time, sustain drives. Just manage the game, dude. Don't try to win it. Don't try to be stupid. Don't think, oh, wow, I can throw it down there into quadruple coverage and throw it up like it's a fucking blimp and expect to come away with another miracle. Just manage the game, and we should be fine. All right, so defensive X factors. Jesse, who do you got?
Yeah,
X factor.
X factor.
X factor.
Jamin Davis again. He is. He's going to play a big role. They're going to run the ball, as we've been saying all podcasts. Damian Pierce is a bowling ball, man. He is
he runs like he's like a bowling ball of knives.
Yeah. He is.
He throws physical punches while he's running.
He is probably one of the hardest hitting running backs I've seen all year round. And Jamin Davis is going to have to stick his nose in it and play physical and play fast and shut this run game down.
My X factor is the barbecue sauce.
Tom Lavero.
It's gotta be good.
Hi,
Tom Lavero.
Hey, listen, the barbecue sauce in Houston's good enough. You can put it on your ice cream. But,
Thumb, you need a handkerchief. I see some sauce dripping off your chin.
Oh, wait,
that's the chef's special sauce, Jesse.
I'll save that for later.
I bet you will.
All right. So where were we? Defensive X factor. I did that for a reason. So here, let me put this back so it looks like me. And did you give us a defensive X factor, Scott? X factor.
No, I didn't. And my X factor is gonna be Montez Sweat. He's got a lot of pressures. He's the highest rated for pressures in the entire NFL. I just want to see him get a few more sacks, get home a bit more. Montez, you're doing your job.
I want to see him,
but let's get back. Let's get home a bit more.
He had a damn good sack on Jalen Hurts last game.
Dry roasted coffee. I want to see him get hit by Montez Sweat so hard that his neck snaps back so fast that people in front of him are hit with his helmet. Whack!
That's what I want to see. I want to see Davis Mills get one of these numbers. Yeah. So my X factor on defense. X factor. Just a question, real quick: is Cole Holcomb playing this week? Can we hear anything back?
No, he's out. He's out. I saw the injury report today. He's out.
Okay. All right. I just got some breaking news. Commanders coach Ron Rivera addressed the team this week in light of the video evidence of players consuming alcohol on the charter flight from Philadelphia and disciplined the players involved, per source. He also reached out to the lead office and ahead of today's memo. The memo was no. Is there some the NFL? There's the offensive coordinator from the Titans, Todd Downing, got a DUI last.
So because one guy can't fucking handle himself, everybody else. No, but are they flying the plane?
I was just gonna say, are you allowed to drink on a plane? Because I mean, God help us if they came on my rugby tour. Like it would just be.
Look,
horrendous.
let's face it. They were drinking Busch Light for God's sakes. It's not like they were drinking real beer. They were drinking like kids' beer. The hell is that Busch Light?
Let's see. This is from the NFL. In light of recent events, clubs are reminded that league policy prohibits alcoholic beverages, including beer, in locker rooms, practice, or office facilities, or while traveling on a team bus or planes at any time during the preseason, regular season, or postseason. This applies to all players, coaches, club personnel, and guests traveling with your team.
So what do you think this is? Do you think this is a bit of a hit job from the? I'm not trying to put words in people's mouths. So no, if any lawyers are watching, this is a pure speculation on my part. Do you think this is the Philadelphia Eagles trying to get one back, or do you think this is a league thing because they've seen the social media posts?
Yeah, I think it's a league thing.
It's a league thing.
Nobody said a word about the Vikings the week before when they beat the Bills.
I didn't see any beer
covered in chains.
I saw him covered in chains, but
it was there.
I agree, but you can't see it. That's the thing. And look, I'll tell you this, Scott. I know you probably don't realize it over there where you are, but the NFL doesn't care whether or not, because he's drinking a Busch Light for God's sakes. But they will go after small bars and restaurants if they advertise Super Bowl parties because of the trade. Oh yeah,
that's why. That's why they had the big game.
Big game party.
Big game
right.
Party.
Big game. Watch the big game on the big TV. Right. No, because they are very protective of the brand, and they'll do that shit. I don't think the Eagles called them up and said they were drinking beer. They were too busy crying about they didn't face mask. What is everything? Taylor Heineke took a dive. So douchebags like Mike Florio cried. Oh man, yeah, I love it when Mike Florio cries. I shouldn't say that.
Fuck.
Florio is look, man. Florio. Long ago when I was doing cartoons 2004-5, he invited me when they were just starting. You should join up with us, and I was like, I don't know who you are. Whoops. Oh well. Let's see. Are we done? I think we're done. We know our X factors are. Let's get a score and a prediction. Go ahead, Jesse. Give me your score and your prediction.
Oh no, Texans 42, Commanders 13.
I went for a 70-3 last week.
No, look, I think, listen, I am nervous about this game. I'm nervous about the letdown, but we should beat this team if they want to be something. If they think that they're going somewhere, they have the talent, they have the wherewithal to beat teams like this. We go in there, we're going to win 27-13.
Oh, okay. Well, then, Jesus, let me turn this off. I thought he was going to cry about it. All right, 27-13, Jesse. Oh, who you have there? Scott.
Commanders win 30-10.
Okay, 30. Damn, that'll be our first time we got 30.
I was going to go to 27-10, but 30-10 just more appealing. I'll take that one.
Jinxing the team.
What did that say?
I don't know.
Mike Florio was on his show, and Chris Sims said, Chris Sims, by the way, if you put a suit on my dick, that's what it looks like. Chris Sims.
Wow.
Just to give you a personal little message there, give you a little bit of a brain image. The lawyer and me, but drinking after the game isn't allowed when there's. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Heineke was on, wasn't he?
Because Heineke, traveling on a plane while he's had a Busch Light, he might crash. I don't know.
Yeah.
So way to go, guy in Tennessee, for being stupid. By the way, anybody who's out there that doesn't know that you shouldn't drink and then drive your car, you should know that you shouldn't drink and drive your car, because I'm assuming that you're listening to this podcast because you're not stupid. All right. So score and prediction. Yeah. What did you say, Scott?
30-10.
30-10. I'm going to go ahead and say 27-3. We are not letting them score a touchdown. 27-3. That's right. Delicious Davis Mills coffee will be smeared all over the floor of a Reliant Stadium. Is it Reliant Stadium? Is that what it's called?
NRG.
Yeah.
NRG? I don't know. They changed the name of those.
Yeah, it used to be Reliant. I think it used to be Reliant. Yeah.
Whatever. It's a Texas power company. So why don't they should just call themselves Fuck You Out of Your Money Stadium.
You haven't seen gas and electric prices this side of the pond, mate.
No, well, I would tell you what. When you pay for your electric over there, does it work?
Yeah, my wife just said to me today, she said, I've got the Christmas turkey. I said, well, that's great, but we're not going to be able to heat the fucker. But you know what I
mean? In Texas, they privatized the grid down there. So, and
why do you think I'm outside the pub? At least it's got electricity.
That's fucking. You see Scott fucking rubbing sticks together, fucking trying to cook his goddamn turkey.
Yeah, my electric bill's gone up by just over £1,400. So that's about $1,700
per month.
A year.
A year? Oh,
mm-hmm.
All right. Well, no, that's still sucks.
That's what it's gone up by.
Do you pay it annually or what?
Monthly? Pay a monthly direct debit. So it costs me now £244. So that's about $280.
That's about what I pay. Yeah, that's about what I pay.
Yeah.
My whole house is electric, so that's what
I got a small house, and
me too.
And I got recently got the little Mitsubishi converters. Got 4 of them in it, and my power bill went down. It was like $213. Now it's like the most I pay is like $168 a month. So
I can't remember who it was on Twitter, but you guys were whinging about it going to $4 a gallon or whatever it was for fuel, and I was like, dude, it's £1. Like it was £1.86 per liter.
Yeah,
which is
but see, you got to figure, our county is as big as your country. So
yeah, I know, I get that, I understand, but I was like,
we got a lot of where I live. If you want to, there's no walking to work where I live. There's no.
Yeah, I work 45. It takes me 45 minutes to get to work every day.
Oh, I can walk to work. It takes me about half an hour.
Well, there you go. That's not too bad. Well, all right. Now that we bored the hell out of everybody,
yeah,
about,
everyone else, life stories, yeah.
that's
welcome
right.
to Life Stories with the Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
That's right, Life Stories. Have a nice cup of Davis Mills, delicious coffee.
Did you give us your score?
No.
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, you did. 3 points.
27-3. 27-3.
Yeah, I want to see 4 sacks. I want to see 4 sacks.
I would like to see at least 4 sacks of delicious Davis Mills. Yeah, I want to see 6 sacks of Davis Mills.
And a Terry touchdown. I think
you should play John with your 5-second breakdown.
No, the 5-second breakdown. Davis Mills being able to read the defense.
Oh, jeez.
Go catch it, neck.
That was actually this is the difference in ages. That was Mr. Fantastic in the 1968 Fantastic Four cartoon. Whenever he stretched out, that's what that sounded like.
If that's Yam
is right. He's right.
Yeah, he is right.
We don't score. So 24
is that close. Unless it's like a late score at the end of the game to get the Texans to 20. I don't know how happy I'll be with that.
Me either, because we're not a win is a win, but we're not. If you want to be a good team, you got to take a bad team like this, and you got to put your fucking thumb.
Yeah, this is a bad team.
You got to squish it,
and we've never been able to fucking put away bad teams.
No, if we play a bad team and we keep them under like the Bears, who are I don't think a bad team now as they were when they played us.
They're explosive.
Yeah, but when they played us, we held them to 9, but we don't score. So yeah, Yam's got a good point there. Yeah. All right, then. I think we're done. My wife's giving me the eyeball that says dinner's just about ready. So,
radio. Cheerio.
Take care, everyone.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. By the way, 4 o'clock, we'll come back and we'll talk about how badly.
Send me a text like an hour earlier because
I noticed John's been sending me messages now. Remember, it's 4 p.m.
Right.
Okay. Cheers, John.
Yeah, right.
He's keeping me on
make
track.
Sure you
every fucking Saturday at like 2:30, I'm like ready for a nap. I'm like, oh fuck, I got that podcast. Shit. So, all right then, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you later. Take care, gents. Thanks.
Later.